Hello, I'm Dr. Igor Simonov, and today I will talk about the preventative acupuncture, which explained in the 77th chapter of Nanjing, Difficulties of Chinese Medicine. Actually, in this chapter is said that doctor can treat high doctor can treat a disease before it actually started. And as example, it's given that disease of the liver before it started. So before liver affected by disease, we need to treat the spleen. So actually, how we can do it and how we can treat it with the pulse diagnosis. Especially knowing that all the 74th difficulties, which says that we need to treat any meridian, use the points according to the movement of this meridian, how we can use the different points which actually not active, and how we can prevent any disease. So first of all, let's look at the say the WuXing chart, how it was before and how we use it now. So here we can say that, for example, according to the modern chart, WuXing, fire affect the metal, metal affect the wood, wood affects the earth, earth affects the water, and water affects the fire, and so on. So it is how in 77th difficulty and all the difficulties of Nanjing explaining how diseases transmit from one meridian, from one point, from one movement to the other one. So here we see the original chart of WuXing. So let's look here how disease is transmitted. First of all, we said, for example, like in the 77th difficulty, it says that the wood affects the earth. So here we have the wood, liver affects the spleen. So this is this connection. So afterwards, spleen, earth affects the water. So we have spleen affecting the water. So again, the movement goes through the spleen, spleen, water. Later, water affects the fire. So we can see here water affecting the fire. So again, movement goes through the spleens, through the earth. Later, what we can see that fire affects the metal. In this case, it's a different case. It's just one case when the fire actually affects the metal. For some reason, it doesn't go through the earth as it's explained in 77th difficulty of Nanjing. And the last one is the metal affects again the wood. So we have the metal affecting the wood. Again, movement goes through the spleen, through the earth. So what is happening? Why it is it shows that all the 77 difficulties says that always we need to treat before the disease started. We need to treat the earth, and actually we can see this one movement affecting the other one. It always go through the earth. So if we will look actually to the pulse map which we used before, just like example. Again, I will explain here is lung, heart, pancreas, liver, and kidney meridians. So, for example, let's start that the wood affects the earth movement when the wood affects the earth. So earth, our spleen, will have movement of the wood. So it will be here. So what will happen when we will do the treatment? We will need to move it down back to the earth, and once we will use, of course, in this case we will use the wood point on the spleen meridian, and we will need to use also another the earth point on spleen meridian, because when it comes to the movement of the earth, this earth point will be active, so disease will be eliminated. So for example, I will just put always here the earth point in all meridians. So next what's happened, it is when the earth affects the water. So in this case, the water kidney will have the movement of the earth, so it will be here. So in this case, we also, one point which we use, because it will be movement of the earth, we will use the point earth on the meridian of the kidney, and it will start to move it back to the meridian. Later, water affects the fire. What it means? It means actually that heart meridian will have movement of the water. Water affects fire. So in this case, we will need to use the point of the water on the heart meridian, and we will need to use again point of the earth. Why? Because when it will start to move backwards to normality, it will pass through the movement of the earth, and already we will have needle over there, so disease will be eliminated, and it will come back to the movement of the fire. Later we can see, for example, fire affects the metal. Do you remember that we talked that in the original we can see that fire, when it affects metal, it doesn't go through the earth. So really, if the fire affects metal, we will have movement of the fire in the lung meridian. So in this case, we will use the point of the fire point on the lung meridian, and it will start to move backwards, and it will not go actually through the spleen. So old WuXing chart is actually correct. It never will go through the spleen, so it will go down back to the lung. And again, after that, metal affects the wood. So in our case, liver will have the movement of the metal. It will be here. Liver will have the movement of the wood. So in this case, what we will have, we will need to use again first point of the metal on the liver meridian, and we will need to use put in one extra needle in the meridian of the earth, and the point of the earth meridian over the liver. So once it will start to normalize, it will go exactly through the point of the earth, and disease again will be eliminated, and everything will return movement over the meridian of the wood. Lever will take the movement of the wood. So we can see the exactness of how we can use old-fashioned WuXing chart for the treatment or prevention of the diseases, as it said in 77th difficulty of Nanjing, and how we can use and explain it through the pulse map. Thank you.